Hello, my name is Phil Kuchar, and this is EDL 856, School Community Relations, Module number 16, Parental Apathy by me, Phil Kuchar. Category 1, the problem identification and analysis. What do I know? So far I know that Mrs. Rose is a new administrator, and she's trying to get parent and community support, hence why she went to the principal to try to get him on board with it right away, and then tried to have that meeting. Also, I know that there's little support from parents and community in the past. The principal referred to that, and which leads to number 3, the fact that there's no PTA or PTO set up at the school. Lets me also know that there's very little support. And also I know that the principal is very apprehensive to attempt to get the parents and community involved. In the first meeting Ms. Rose had with him, he was not very willing to try to get the parents involved in it. He actually said, don't even bother, and I won't even sponsor any PTA or PTO. What do I need to know? I'd like to know what kind of communication options there are to reach the parents. That way we could use other options outside of just leaving notes in the kids' bags to get a hold of the parents for the meetings. Also, I'm curious what kind of the demographics are for the community. I'm curious if we're more of a poorer community, if we're more of a working community where a lot of parents are working a lot of hours, or both parents are working. Also, just knowing all of those would help kind of gauge how much parental support we could have actually coming into the school. And also, I would like to know, is the staff and principal willing to implement this outside support? Kind of have an idea the principal is apprehensive to at least give it a go, but if we get it started, would he be willing to open up more? And also, is the staff willing to do this? Are they willing to give it an effort? The problem is, mainly, there's low parent community involvement, low principal support, at least initially. I mean, he lets Miss Rose give it a chance to go, but he's really not very excited or thinking that it's going to actually happen. And of course, another problem is there's not really inclusive vision. It's all about, hey, let the school do what they want to do, and the parents and the community stay out of it, and vice versa. Category 2, the plan of action. My first step would be to still have that meeting with the 8 parents that showed up. I feel like we can still get something accomplished and still maybe get them involved in the school. Then, in that meeting, I'm going to find opportunities for those 8 to be involved in, and find out what maybe they have interest in to bring about into the school. Maybe they have some ideas that they can implement, or they know people that couldn't make it to the meeting that they could add to it. And then, of course, I want to keep this going and try to expand it, so I want to set up another meeting date. After that, I would like to find those multiple ways of contacting the parents, such as email, such as something that we use called Sky Alert, where you can send messages to their phone, like an automated send, or maybe using the Remind app, which sends text to all the parents, along with sending the letters home. That way they'll know what was discussed in the meeting, and they will know opportunities that maybe they can get involved in, even though they couldn't make it to the meeting. Next, I want to let the parents know how they can be involved and contact you, whether that's through the text or the call or an email, whatever it is, just to get them involved. Then step 5, I would try to get the teachers more involved in the activities and ideas that were brought up. Hopefully that would even lead to get the principal involved. The teachers are willing to have the parents and community members come in, and I've got some that are willing to do it. Then once they see that it's working well and it's helping the students become better in the classroom and learning more, then more and more will get involved, which leads to step 6, gradually increase the opportunities, these events that parents can be involved in, and the meetings. That way we can keep increasing involvement in the school. Category 2, continuing on with appropriate strategies. I think the main strategy is I need to have a shared vision here from the staff, parents, and the principal to realize that the community and the school need to be intermingled. They need to be working together, and they need to realize that both sides want what's best for the students. Also, I need to change the culture by gradually increasing that involvement. I feel like the more and more parents that get involved, because of the more and more opportunities, that'll change the culture of, oh, well, now we just leave them alone, we leave the community alone, and they leave us alone. Let's change that culture and get both of us to be intertwined. And then, of course, a last strategy I think is extremely important, is always showing those positive outcomes and examples of the parent and community involvement, such as using Twitter, using Facebook, using those texts that are in my that I mentioned, getting the school paper involved, taking pictures and putting articles in the paper of all the great things that are happening in the school, which will keep building more and more support. Category 3, resolve the issues, promoting the success of all students. What is best for the students? Obviously having the parent community involvement. If they're involved, then it's going to be a lot better for these students because they actually have people that are caring outside of just the school. Everyone, the stakeholders, principal, staff, working towards that shared vision, that's what's best for the students. Everybody collaborating and working together. And then of course changing that mindset of indifference of the principal and the community members and parents. We don't want that. We want everybody involved working together to do what is best for these students, which is to get them an education, to get them college and career ready. The resolution to the problem, I think getting the staff and principal on board, like I mentioned before, with the parent community involvement, definitely got to get them on board. Also keep increasing the involvement. And I think the best way of doing that is just having more and more opportunities for the parents to do that, not just in school, but maybe after school or before school. That way the parents that work normal, 9-to-5 job can actually get there and help out and be involved. And maybe actually getting the students to go outside of the school and doing stuff in the community, which would then allow community members to see that they are willing and able to work with them, and then maybe they'll come in even more. And also using those multiple communication options. I think if the parents are being communicated on more and more, then they'll be more and more willing to be involved because they obviously care about their children as well. Category 4, debrief the problem. I was thinking that I was very disappointed, and it was disappointing how the principal had kind of stopped trying with the community. It's sad to know that he kind of just threw up his hands, probably because it got really difficult and nobody was getting involved. I was feeling that the opportunity to change the culture in the community of the school was there. I really felt like there was a good opportunity here. We had some people show up, which means that there's a few that's interested. At least that when there's a few there, you can at least start that and get the ball rolling. I was valuing that some of the parents still wanted to be involved and show up. I thought that was great that even after months or years of not having any parent or community involvement, all of a sudden there was a lot of them that wanted to be there. Unresolved issues. I feel like why the parents weren't showing up. Maybe there were scheduling conflicts, or maybe the principal was right. Maybe they were all apprehensive to come because of the lack of involvement from previous times and they didn't think anything would happen. Another unresolved issue is getting more support, whether that's mostly from the parents and the community in this case. I thought that's an unresolved issue. We need to get more and more parents and community members involved. And then of course the last unresolved issue I have is the staff and principal. We need to get them on board with this more. The principal, obviously I mentioned already, seemed very apprehensive. And then the staff, I don't know much about them yet, but hopefully getting them involved will make this a lot more cohesive unit of getting the parents and community involved as well. Standard number 7 about the educational leader, promoting the success of the students by engaging with the families and stakeholders. I thought that was important by working together in a collaborative way between the school and community, having that agreement that it's mutually beneficial. Also, having those communication opportunities is extremely important for the betterment of the students and getting that engagement. And then of course, continue to have those meetings. Don't quit just because of one meeting. Keep pressing on and keep trying to work on getting more and more involved. Reflect on Standard 7, the evidence that promoted academic success. Collaborate with family and community members. Have that meeting. Have those members have more opportunities, offer more opportunities to serve in the school, and then contact all the parents, that even the ones that didn't make it afterwards, and even the ones that did. Keep contacting all of them, saying, hey, let's have another meeting. Let's try to do more. Okay, and be willing to do that extra work to have more. And then, of course, the issues, how I address them, have those meetings, obviously keep people involved, have more opportunities, and keep those open lines of communication. Those are the ways that I'm addressing these major issues of apathy by the parents. How I promoted community engagement, I communicated with them in multiple ways: email, text, Facebook, Twitter, newspaper, calling, whatever I need to do to get all of them involved. And then of course giving them those opportunities to be engaged. Parents a lot of times won't just offer because they're busy too. So we need to give them opportunities and have them be able to come into our schools. And then, of course, planning more meetings, having more opportunities for them to come in and serve. Thank you very much. I hope that this was something that you were able to take away to hopefully better your relations with community and parents. Thank you.